programs. One of the Java program or problem that is presented during interviews is they'll give you a string and then ask you to provide the number of times a character occurs in a string or something similar. Okay, so before you start writing, you need to think a little bit of how you will solve this problem. First, you need to break this up into characters, which can be done using 2 character array. Right, there is a method which is provided and you can use that. Once you break it, you will have to save it, right? Save each character. And whenever you have to save values like this, you should immediately think about maps, because you have key and value. So your key will be the character and the value will be the number of time it comes. So you can use put to put the value and get to get it, to see if it is there, and increment it every time it occurs. Defining first a map, okay, which will have a character key and an integer value. Let's call it character count. And now we'll loop over this string. So we can do that by, as I mentioned earlier, by converting into a character array, right? So we are looking at one character at a time. So I'll get T, H, I, S and so on. Right, now what we need to do is we need to put the value in the map. So we'll use the method put to put it, and the first will be the key, which is of course the character. And now we will use some method called as get or default. I'll explain it in a bit. Okay, so what basically we are doing here is we are putting the value of the for this particular key. If it is not there, that is the first time we are encountering it, we will put a value 0 and then it's incremented by 1. So we see the character one time. If it is already existing, so let's say the value is 1, we will get the value 1 and we will increment it. So we see it 2 times, right? And then when this whole process is over, let's print out the map. Okay, and let's run this. Okay, so we see the values here, but now there are a few things we need to keep in mind. Okay, here it has also counted spaces, so a lot of times you are expected to get rid of these spaces. So what you can do is create another string, say no spaces string, no spaces equal to, you can use a replace all, where you replace the space with, you're just basically removing it. Okay, and now if I run it again, I will not find the spaces. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to use this, so I'm supposed to use no spaces here. Okay, the spaces are gone. Another thing is also sometimes they want it to be case insensitive. So here you see T is capital as well as small, so they would say that it should be case insensitive. In that case, all you have to do is change it to lowercase or uppercase. Okay, and then you loop over it. Okay, so now you have a T 5 times. Okay, it has considered both lowercase as well as uppercase. And if you get confused and you want to see how exactly the values are getting updated, which you should do if you are not clear on how it's working, let's print out the value of the map every time it loops through this. when you're a beginner, you should put a lot of print statements, or you should do a debug so that you understand exactly how the flow works. So here we'll see exactly how it is updating the value, right? So first it got a T, it's changed it to lowercase, it updates the value in the map to become 1. Then there's an H which gets updated again, it's added to the map as 1. Okay, and this is how the whole flow gets, the map is getting updated. Okay, so this is how you will solve this program. So we've used some string methods and solved it. Okay.